Hey y'all, it's me Solace. Hi, hope everybody is well. I kinda had a topic on my mind, and it's mental health in the black community. I was just thinking to myself, I was just thinking about how we got so many people, black people, who are stuck in such traumatic states until a point where it keeps going down and down and down and down and down. And then essentially we end up putting our traumas on other people. Then those people, they end up taking those traumas too, because it's an energy transfer. I just believe it's an energy transfer from like, yo, great grandma to the grandma to your mama, then to you. It's this energy, it just shifts. You can put your traumas on your partner. I bet you ain't think of that, did you? But you can. And then that partner ends up carrying those traumas and those demons. And then the partner, unintentionally, they could take that and bring it down their line. That's a big thing for a lot of relationships, families, is that we sharing too much trauma. We sharing too much trauma. We create these trauma bonds. You probably got a trauma bond with your siblings. Like, y'all laughing about your mama getting beat growing up or anything like that. Y'all just trauma bonded. And it's just like, we normalize too much shit. We normalize it to a point where it's disgusting. We normalize it so much and it's just like, that norm, it turns into us. We allow that shit to control us. So it's just like, we end up repeating those patterns because we don't care enough to change the patterns. And then it's like, if you don't care enough to change those patterns, if you're actively watching yourself turn into somebody you grew up hating, you hate yourself. You can't say, I love myself, and then essentially you're the person that you hated growing up. You're the person that you said, I'd never be them. And this transpires because you don't acknowledge your pain. I feel like black people, we're taught to sweep our pain under the rug. They don't tell us to cry. They don't they don't show us how to critically think for ourselves. They don't show us how to be, or what it means to really be human. It's just kind of like, damn, I got all this baggage, but I gotta get to the bag still. I wanna kill myself right now, but I gotta get to the bag still. I wanna kill a nigga, but I gotta get to the bag still. Those are just examples, but you say all this, like, you know what's going on in your head, but then you just push it to the back of your mind. You push it so far back until you snap. And once you snap, you can't go back. So one thing you can't do is when you snap, you cannot take it back. But what you can do moving forward is acknowledge the trauma that you were carrying. Acknowledge your mental health. Acknowledge it. Because if you you walk, you just like, give a fuck. Because you're going to hurt yourself in the long run. It's going to fuck you so hard. And that's why it's so important to make sure your mental health is a top priority. I feel like we get into relationships, we have friendships where we end up carrying on our traumas to them. I know you and your friend be trauma bonding. Because it's that shared, it's almost like intimacy. It feels like intimacy. It's a shared experience that is just like, damn, I feel like nobody, they don't get me. They don't understand me. And when you meet that person that knows what you've been through, they've been through the same shit, it's like, we gotta connect. We gotta stay friends. We gotta stay boyfriend and girlfriend. All of that. But in reality, if you're not, one thing you should have in common, if like y'all can share the same traumas, but one thing y'all should have in common is that y'all both want to work to be better. Because if y'all both want to be better, it's just, I feel like we don't push each other enough. Black community, we don't push each other enough. We don't encourage each other enough. We put down too much instead of uplifting. It's easier to put down than it is to bring somebody up. You know why? Because you grow up being put down. You grow up being shut up, shut out. So it's easier to be like, to leave somebody on the ground and to help them up. Because you never had that for yourself. And when you haven't had that for yourself, it makes you don't care as much as you should. You know? I feel like we need to band together as people. We need to understand how these traumas, they link to our brain. Trauma changes the whole complete pattern of your brain. Trauma, it fucks you up. But once you can acknowledge, it takes 30 days to build a habit. 30 days. A month. Takes roughly a month to build a habit into your muscle memory. So doing something every day for 30 days, it creates a habit. So just imagine 30 days straight, you do shadow work. And you dive deeper within yourself in the ways that matter instead of the ways that are so deconstructive. So when I say deconstructive, I mean smoking weed. What else? What's another one? Smoking weed, vaping, self-harming. Those are forms of self-harm, but self-harming. Anything like that. It's just, you need to actively go outside of yourself. Be like, okay, I can do this. And you need to actually look. Ask your mom questions about her childhood. Dad. Anybody you can. And really get a good breakdown. Because once you hear their stories, you'll know, damn, I'm carrying that same pain. It's like, my mom, for example, she's been through a lot of abuse. She never actively I'm not talking shit about my mama, but she didn't actively take the time out to find herself and heal herself. She let her trauma become her. You get pregnant, you and that baby are sharing a body, DNA, that's gonna get onto you. And then, especially if you see your parent, especially in those primal years, not doing much for themselves, they're not, or you see that they carry their pain, whatever pain you carry, or anything that happens in your childhood life, you end up, you carry the same pain the way she does, he does, dad, mom, you end up carrying the same pain the way they do. And then you kind of just fuck yourself. And it's not your fault as a child, because as a child, it's hard to really be like, okay, I don't like this, I'm not gonna do it. Because children are very observant, but children are not, I call children or sponges. They soak up so much information, knowledge. So they soaked up what you've shown them. And if you haven't showed them much good, they soak it up. They absorb it. And unintentionally, they wear it. It's just like, think about a child with severe aggression towards everyone around them. And then you look at their dad, mom, dad, you'll see that they have that same inability to actively actively process emotions. They process emotions through aggression, through anger, yelling, screaming. And it trickles on to them. Child will probably be like, I'm not gonna be this. I'll never be this. I'll never be like my parents. And then they mimic. I'm not saying you may not always mimic as a child, but say you get 25, something like that. Somebody in the store step on your shoe. You bitch ass nigga, blah, blah, blah. You get on them because that's how you've seen people process emotions, feelings, everything like that. So it's so important to realize that emotion is gonna fuck you over as well. I'm just kind of spilling now, but it's gonna fuck you over as well. And I'm telling you, being emotional and not having no backbone as a black man, a black woman, it's gonna fuck you over. It's gonna fuck you over because you're just gonna continue this long cycle. And it's not gonna get you anywhere. It's not gonna get us anywhere as people. So, y'all, look into your brains. Look into your bodies. Feel where you carry your trauma at. Feel those pains, your neck, back. Feel where you carry your traumas. See if you can understand your parents' past more, what they've been through, and see how you can change your DNA pattern for the next generation of us. It's so important. We need to actively be trying to change this DNA pattern that we carry, because this is going to it's going to trickle onto our kids. Kids. It's going to keep going. So, get tapped in with y'all mental health, mental state. Care. Black people don't care enough about mental health. I know we are entering an age of where mental health is a little more valued, but it's still something in the black community that's torn down. It's like, it's hard. It's fucking hard being black. It's hard having a black family. It's hard when these people around you still carry those traumas and you see it, and then you actively trying to change yourself, and it still shines through you. Because they don't teach us how to let it all go. They don't teach us how to heal. They teach us how to tote weapons. They teach us how to fuck hoes. They teach us insufficient stuff that doesn't help us in the long run. They teach us how to be angry. They teach us how to be aggressive. They teach us everything other than the important stuff. I was just like, it's on ask yourself, how can I change myself for the betterment of the next generation? How can I change myself for the betterment of the next generation that will carry my bloodline? You gotta ask yourself that question. Because that question is going to unlock a lot. It's going to unlock those fears. It's going to unlock that knowledge of like, damn, it's going to really make you question everything. You're like, damn, how the fuck can I do this? Or like, how can I change those patterns? How can I be better? And I feel like we fuck up because we like, something I know I probably said this a few weeks ago. I was like, I don't give no fuck about the youth. Fuck the youth. And I'm living for me right now. But it's not fuck the youth, because the youth is where it starts. It's not about talking to the youth. I mean, talk to them, but it's about being able to be like, okay, I need to do something within myself. And then spreading that message. Spreading your message. Talking. It's real, like speaking life. We don't speak enough life into children. You don't speak enough life into each other. Like I said that earlier, but we just don't. It's not something we're taught to do. That's why it's so important to like really lock in with yourself while you young. 20. Lock in with yourself while you are young. It's gonna be lessons. So many lessons coming your way. But when you can when you can just keep pushing through that shit and realize, like, damn, yeah, this can't be my future. This can't be the future of my children. You know, I personally don't want my kids to grow up and be like, I saw mommy hitting daddy, or I saw daddy hitting mommy. And then they grow up, they're 20. It's like, oh, it's normal. This is a norm. It's not normal. It is not normal. Start off telling your shit that the shit is not normal. It's not. What is it? Verbal abuse, physical abuse, the sexual abuse. The shit is not normal. It won't ever be normal. So don't make that your norm. You see, if you do it once, let that be your lesson learned. Cause I mean, if you can do it once, you can do it again. So if you do it one time, you're like, I'm never gonna do it again. But you're not actually putting that work in, so you don't do it again. It's gonna happen again. Just keep your heads up. Keep your hearts open to each other. Love, peace. Keep it open. Don't shut yourself down. It's gonna hurt. Don't shut yourself off. Don't shut them out. Open up. I'm talking about open up to your mama, your daddy, friends. Open up. Open up your heart. If you're struggling mentally, tell somebody. If you are experiencing some type of abuse, tell somebody. If you're going through it, communicate. Please, please, please communicate, y'all. Not communicating is what fucks us. Yeah. Y'all got it. We got it. We gonna figure it out. We if we all apply right, we gonna fuck up the youth in a good way. So yeah, stay blessed, y'all.